When it comes to marriage, both man and woman have responsibility to make sure that nothing puts asunder in their marriage. Often and often, I've seen so many people that allow things to put asunders in their marriage. In today's episode, I want to share with you 6 things that put asunder in your marriage. What did I mean by asunder? Things that brings problem that may lead to separation or divorce in your marriage. So I want you to be wise. Grab your pen, grab your paper, and let's look into these things so that you have to be very careful. Number 1, in-laws, or perhaps I may say parents. In as much as you say I do, you and your spouse is one. Therefore, you have to be very careful with the advice you are getting from your parents. Yes, I'm not saying you should not listen to your parents, but never you ever get advice that will spoil your marriage. Some parents today, they always give their children advice that spoils their marriage. Yes, not everything that you need to tell your parents that is happening in your marriage. If you have problem with your spouse, please sit down, talk with your spouse and settle it. If perhaps you feel like it's not something you can settle between yourself, look for experts in marriage counseling. But never you ever take anything to your home, because the truth is this: your parents, your siblings, they will support you, they will side you even when you are doing wrong thing. So these people, they always put asunder in marriages. Number 2, house helps. I've seen so many marriages that are in conflict today that experience divorce, separation because of their house help. May I tell you, if you must get a house help, please be intentional, be careful with house help you will get. Number 1, never you get house help who is related to you. Yes, I know it might sound weird, but may I tell you, the moment the house help is related to you, he or she will always see the negative part of your spouse, and he or she will always reporting to you all the negative things that your spouse is doing, because he or she is related to you. That's why it's important that you don't get a house help that is related to you. Number 2, if you must get a house help, never you ever get a house help who is adult, especially when you notice that your spouse have that challenge of faithfulness. Many house helps today have separated families because the man was unable to control himself, and as a result of that, it leads to pregnancy or something of that nature. Number 3, if you get a house help, please be the one that directs house help what to do and what not to do, how to dress and how not to dress. Don't overlook her dressing, because the truth is this: by saying, your husband may fall into temptation. So be careful with the house help you are getting. Number 3, children. I've seen so many marriages that having problem today because of children, especially we women. Often and often we love our children more than we love our husband. Yes, nothing wrong to love your children, but may I tell you that the love for your husband should remain pure. You don't need to exchange the love you have for your husband for that your children. Do you know the dangerous part of it? Whenever your children grow and go their ways, the marriage will remain between you and your spouse, between you and your husband. That's why it's very important you don't allow your children to put asunder in your marriage. But before we continue, my YouTube friends, I want to ask you, have you subscribed? Please help us to grow our channel by like, love, subscribe, share to friends who also benefit our channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Number 4, phones, electrical gadgets. May I tell you that I've seen couples that stays in a roof like a roommate. They stayed hours and hours and hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, watching their phone, watching their gadgets without talking to one another. Yes, you might say that it doesn't mean anything, but may I tell you that it means something. If your spouse can be watching his or her phone for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours without talking to you, may I tell you that the phone is putting asunder. So, in as much as you are into marriage, it's important that you don't allow phone, gadget, anything to put asunder, because the truth is this: the more attention to pay to your phone, the less attention you pay to your spouse, the less attention you pay to your family, the less attention you pay to your children. To be carried away by this gadget, because the truth is this: it can put separation, it can put asunder to your family. Number 6 is money. Many times, many families are fighting today because of money. Oh, this is my money. This is how you need to use it. This is how it's supposed to be used. This is this. May I tell you, in marriage, 1 plus 1 is 1. Don't allow money to put asunder in your family. Perhaps if you notice that the other person is having money issues, sit down, talk it out, but never you allow money to put asunder. The last but not the least is career. This one goes especially to women. Many times, just as I talk in this video, ready to marry and age to marry. Many times, because we don't want to be a housewife, we don't want to stay at home to take care of our children, we don't want to lose that which we have earned when we are young, and we allow our careers to put asunder in our marriage. I also see as well where men, in pursuit of business, in pursuit of fame, in pursuit of things around spotlight, they allow those careers to put asunder in their marriage. Please, may I tell you, my darling, no matter what you are getting, you have to put your family at first. Don't allow your career, spotlights, fame, popularity to put your family asunder. You have to be intentional, because all these things put asunder in our marriage. Thank you so much, my YouTube friends, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, share in the comment your takeaway, and I would love to read your comments, and I will see you in another episode. Shalom.